Hi, and welcome. I am so glad you are here. This is a topic that affects almost everyone, and yet most of us are never taught how to actually understand it. Cholesterol, heart health, belly fat, and the connection between all three. We're going to cover everything in plain English, no jargon, no scaremongering, just the kind of honest, practical information that helps you have better conversations with your doctor and make decisions that actually make a difference. Let's start. Before we go deeper, let's make sure we all understand what we're actually talking about. Cholesterol is not your enemy. Your body actually needs it. The problem is when the wrong type builds up in the wrong places. Think of HDL, the good kind, as a tiny rubbish truck. It picks up excess fat from your blood and carries it back to the liver to be cleared out. You want more of these. LDL, the bad kind, is like sludge. It sticks to the inside of your vessel walls. Too much and the vessels narrow. Less blood gets through to your heart. And triglycerides are the extra fuel your body stores as fat in the blood, driven mostly by sugar, alcohol, and eating late at night. Three things. One simple framework. Now you know what you're looking at when you see those numbers. This one might surprise you, and that's exactly why we're covering it early. Heart disease doesn't start at 60. The patterns that lead to it can begin in childhood quietly, without any symptoms. Fatty deposits have been found in the arteries of children as young as 10, not from some extreme condition, just from a regular diet high in processed food and liquid sugar, combined with not enough movement. A child eating processed food every day is already putting stress on their liver and their blood fat levels. The good news? Changes at this age reverse the damage faster than at any other time in life. This is not about alarm, it's about awareness and action. Your cholesterol numbers may have changed recently, and I want you to know it is not your fault. Before menopause, estrogen was quietly doing a job in the background. It kept your LDL, the bad kind, low and your HDL, the protective kind, high. Automatically, when estrogen drops, that protection goes with it. LDL can jump 10 to 20 points within a year. That's biology, not failure. And if you have fibroids, there's another layer. Fibroids create inflammation, and inflammation raises CRP, which independently increases heart risk, separate from cholesterol entirely. Most doctors don't test for this automatically. We'll cover exactly what to ask for. This one's for the dads, the husbands, the brothers, and the partners who are quietly worried about them. Male belly fat is different. A firm, round belly isn't just extra weight, it's visceral fat packed around the liver, pancreas, and intestines, and it actively damages blood chemistry. You can be a completely normal weight on the scales and still have dangerous levels of visceral fat. The waist measurement tells the truth that the scales never will. Waist over 37 inches, elevated risk; over 40 inches, high risk. And the main drivers? Not just food, it's sleep, it's stress, it's cortisol keeping the body in fat storage mode all day. The fix isn't complicated, but it does require honesty about the daily habits. Let's settle some debates. Does cold water with meals solidify fat in your gut? No, that's a myth. Your stomach acid handles everything, regardless of temperature. Does green tea actually lower cholesterol? Yes, genuinely. It contains a compound called EGCG that lowers LDL and raises HDL. 2 to 3 cups a day is one of the most studied natural tools we have. Herbal teas? Hibiscus lowers LDL. Ginger reduces inflammation markers. Chamomile before bed lowers cortisol, meaning your liver makes less cholesterol overnight. Ice cream? The temperature isn't the problem. It's the saturated fat and sugar together, especially in the evening, that raises LDL and triglycerides overnight. Quick recall. Green tea means rubbish truck out. Chamomile at night means less cholesterol made while you sleep. Iced water is completely fine. Ice cream after dinner means sludge in the pipes. Here's something most people never think about. Your belly fat isn't just sitting there, it's active. The deep fat around your organs releases fatty acids directly into your bloodstream. Think of squeezing an oily sponge right next to your liver. Your liver then tries to deal with the flood by making more LDL and triglycerides. It's trying to help, but it's making things worse. That same belly fat releases chemicals that inflame the walls of your arteries. like sandpaper on the inside of a pipe. Inflamed, narrowed arteries, too much LDL, blood that can't flow freely. This is how heart attacks begin silently, over years, long before any symptoms appear. The anchor to remember: reduce belly fat, and you lower cholesterol at the same time. Same problem, same solution. This is your anchor slide, the one to save and return to. You don't need a perfect diet. You need to know which daily habits move your numbers and in which direction. Food: fried food, processed meat, and sugary breakfast cereals raise LDL. Oats, lentils, oily fish, and a handful of walnuts daily lower it. Drinking: alcohol every evening, fruit juice with meals, and sweetened coffees raise triglycerides. Water, green tea, and plain black coffee support better numbers. Smoking: even 5 cigarettes a day lowers your protective HDL. Stopping raises it within weeks. After 1 year, heart risk halves. Stress and sleep: under 6 hours raises LDL noticeably. 10 minutes of slow breathing lowers cortisol measurably. Movement: 20 minutes walking after dinner is the single highest impact free habit you can build. Your triglycerides will reflect it within 2 weeks. Not all belly fat is the same, and the type you carry tells you something specific about your risk. A firm, round belly that sticks out, visceral metabolic type, highest risk, directly raises LDL and triglycerides, lowers good cholesterol, drives insulin resistance. A softer, lower belly that fluctuates, hormonal, especially if fibroids are involved. Estrogen changes raise LDL. Fibroid inflammation raises CRP. Moderate risk. Bloating that changes day to day? Fluid retention. Less direct cholesterol impact, but watch the stress and cortisol piece. Bloating after eating, even healthy food? Gut type. Poor gut bacteria reduce LDL clearance, and gut inflammation raises CRP quietly over time. Each type has a specific fix. Knowing which one you're dealing with means you're working with your body, not against it. Most standard blood panels miss the markers that matter most. Here's what to actually ask for. The standard panel: total cholesterol, LDL, HDL, triglycerides, blood glucose, and HbA1c, your 3-month blood sugar average. All essential. Ask your doctor to measure your waist too. The extended panel is where the full picture forms. ApoB is a better measure of dangerous LDL particles. CRP tells you whether you have inflammation, a key heart risk marker most people never check. Homocysteine, vitamin D, thyroid, and fasting insulin reveal what the standard panel leaves out. Practical note: fast for 9 to 12 hours before the test. Drink water, that's fine. Book early morning. Avoid hard exercise the day before, as it temporarily changes your results. Let me give you something practical to take to your child's next checkup. Print this slide, put it in your bag. These are not aggressive questions, they are informed ones. You have every right to ask them. Can we do a fasting cholesterol panel today? What's their BMI percentile and waist to height ratio? Should we check fasting glucose and insulin? From the lifestyle side, if we make changes now, when would we see it in the blood work? Typically, 8 to 12 weeks. Which single food change would make the biggest difference? The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends a cholesterol check between ages 9 and 11 and again between 17 and 21. Most doctors won't bring it up unless you do. So, bring it up. And for women over 50, here is your version of the same resource. Blood work. Ask for ApoB and CRP alongside the standard panel. Ask about fasting, insulin, and thyroid. Ask specifically about visceral fat markers. Hormones and fibroids. Has my estrogen decline affected my LDL? I have fibroids. Should we check CRP and inflammation markers? Could my abdominal changes be fibroid related rather than fat? And for lifestyle, if I change diet, sleep, and stress, when should we retest? 8 to 12 weeks. What is the single highest impact change for my numbers? A 3-month review with specific targets is completely reasonable to ask for. Don't leave the appointment without setting one. Here is the framework that ties everything together. Week 1 and 2. Get your baseline blood work done. Measure your waist. Note sleep quality, energy, and stress level. Write it down. One line a day is enough. Weeks 3 to 6. Track habits. Look for patterns, not perfection. Weigh yourself weekly, not daily. Note energy and bloating changes. Week 8. Repeat the fasting blood work. Compare to baseline. What moved? What didn't? This is information, not a verdict. Week 12. Full blood work and a doctor conversation. Adjust your approach or celebrate what changed. Either way, you now have data. Track these every week: weight, waist, sleep quality, energy, bloating, alcohol units, daily steps, and stress level. A note on your phone is all you need. Your numbers tell a story. They tell you whether your belly fat is affecting your arteries, whether your hormones have shifted your risk, whether the changes you've made are working. The story isn't fixed. It changes based on what you eat, how you sleep, how you move, and how often you stop to check in. You now have the framework to understand that story. Get tested, ask for the right panel, give yourself 8 to 12 weeks, then adjust. And remember, it is never too late, for you and for your children. The body responds faster than you expect. This is the part most health content skips. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent enough, for long enough, that the good habits stop feeling like effort. Start with one thing: the highest impact habit for your belly type protein at breakfast, a walk after dinner, cutting alcohol to weekends only. Don't change everything at once. Change one thing and watch what happens. Track it day to day, week to week, 8 to 12 weeks. Around weeks 6 to 8, something shifts. The habits stop needing willpower. That is the goal, not a number on a scale, but a comfortable, sustainable new normal. Steady energy, good sleep, blood numbers that reassure you, freedom from fear and guessing. You deserve a better quality of life. Start the conversation with your doctor, with your family, with yourself. You now know what cholesterol actually is in language you can remember and recall. You know how belly fat connects to it for women, for men, for children. You know what to ask for in your blood work. You know which daily habits move the numbers. Heart health is for every age. From the lunchbox to the living room to the years ahead, the same principles apply. Know your numbers. One blood test every 6 to 12 months can change the trajectory. Tiny, consistent habits are the only sustainable path forward. Thank you so much for watching. If this helped you, please share it with someone you love. They deserve this information too.